All right, my friends, welcome back to the RPG Backlog, where we talk about RPGs in our backlog. Right now, it is Final Fantasy III, Episode 3. I'm here with Tom and Travis, and we have a lot to say about this very long section.
Well, hopefully.
This is as we talked last time, it was going to be some optional stuff. It was Doga's Manor, and then some optional events around some optional dungeons down the bottom of the ocean, and then the Temple of Time, Yune's Shrine, and the Ancient Ruins, and then back to some optional events with the Invincible, which is a new airship you get. I really enjoyed this section. It's my favorite section of the whole game so far. But what did you all think?
Oh, I'm kind of the exact opposite.
I figured that's probably what was going to happen.
Why'd you figure that? I'm curious.
Because we tend to have opposite opinions. When I'm like really getting into something, there's someone who's like, well, I didn't like it so much. Or when I'm like, I didn't really like it. There's the opposite opinion.
I would counteract that because we pretty much had the same feeling on 12.
See, now we're doing it again. I think one thing, you're like, no, it's the opposite.
Well, whatever. I didn't dislike this section. There's just some things that they've done that I just find a little bit questionable. I don't even really call it annoying. I'm like, why? Well, like, the Invincible is a great example. Why do we have to have yet another ship that can't do all the things that the other ship could do? So now if you want to go back underwater, you have to fly back to where you got the Invincible just to get the other ship to fly back and go underwater. And oh, by the way, the Invincible moves so much slower than the other ship.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why couldn't you just turn around and be like, hey, here's the Invincible, and guess what? It can do everything that the other one could do right out the door, as opposed to being like, hey, you want to go underwater? You want to do this? Guess what? Tough. Go back, get that other one.
Did you need to go back underwater for something?
I don't know. I might. I haven't decided yet.
The way the guide was written, you did not need to go back underwater for anything. But
but you're going to have to go back eventually. I'm sure.
You have to go back.
They're not going to give you that functionality to not, because right now the only reason why we've gone underwater, correct me if I'm wrong, was for the optional content. We didn't actually have to go underwater for anything in the main story.
Temple of Time was underwater.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
but Temple of Time was not optional, right? Temple of Time was required to get the loot or whatever.
Okay. Never mind. I have the feeling that they're going to have something that makes you go back under the water at some point in time.
Oh, I'm sure. I just meant that, like, at least the way that they wrote the guide, they sort of bunched all of that stuff beforehand, and then once you have the Invincible, it's a bunch of stuff that you don't need to go underwater for, which was courteous of them. I didn't notice the big slowdown in the like, it does move slower. I don't feel like that like meaningfully impeded my ability to it did feel like a huge encumbrance, maybe is what I would say.
I think the only part about the Invincible that was kind of annoying or an encumbrance was that maze where you had to like go through the different parts of the mountain and get to the flat land between the mountains in a certain order, basically, to get to whatever the fucking place was we went to. Was it Bahamut's Lair where that was at?
Yeah, there was no like hand holding on how you clear the mountains. And so I found that I was a little irked when they're like, this is what you use to jump the mountains. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to fly. Wait, what?
Oh, no, it's Lake Door. Is that it?
Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah.
There was a couple of them. Like, you had to do it to get to Bahamut, but you only had to jump one mountain range to get to Bahamut stuff. It was the other. Where was it?
I was just going to say that mechanic like took me a minute. Like, it was like, okay, I'm at the mountains. Like, what button do I push to jump over them? And
like Pixel Perfect,
Falgabard.
Right? Falgabard.
That was the one where you had to jump two different. You had to find the one to jump over a little path, and then go down there and then jump it again. And then it was even for Bahamut and then Lake Door. Lake Door was the easy one. Bahamut was one where you had to jump it, and then go through a cave to get to Bahamut, which pissed me off because the only way to get back out was to actually physically run all the way back through the dungeon to get out, because if you use teleport, it just puts you right back where Bahamut attacked you.
That's funny. I used the one, I think it was warp, where it's like go up a level, and I'm like, there's too many levels in this fucking thing. This is not going to work. So I just turned off random encounters and just ran out of the fucking place.
I think I also turned them off after Bahamut. It was just like, I'm done.
It was a long way to get back out of there.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a schlep. And there was another one where they did that too. I can't remember.
That was the Leviathan one, maybe.
I think is it all these summon ones? Since they're not dungeons, exactly. There's no warp. Right. And so you just get there and it's like, you have this like epic encounter and he's like, I lend my power to you. And it's like, I guess we're walking back. Cool.
Bahamut was the only one where I couldn't use teleport to get out. The other ones I could use teleport and it immediately took me out of the dungeon.
I just walked with the run button on, and it goes pretty decently quick. So I want to talk about the life-altering decision that I made at the end of the last episode.
Oh, hell yeah, man! Your dumb little party.
Yeah, I think I'm calling them the Stupicide Squad. I think that's what I settled on.
Oh my god.
So I was we were talking about the job system last week, and it was like, okay, like, let's see how this really works. Like I guess we could roll it back and see what we said in the last episode. I don't remember where my guys were at the end of the last level, but I decided, in spite of already being underleveled, at least compared to you guys, I was going to assign new jobs to all my guys, which were sort of non-obviously useful ones. So I posted this in the Discord, but I have my fighter knight dude became a dragoon, my black belt became a Viking, my black mage became an evoker, and my white mage became a red mage, because basically nobody else can use curative magic. And man, were we getting the shit kicked out of us.
I need someone to heal, god damn it.
Yeah, right? It was not good. So I did that through most of section 13. So that was Doga's Manor and the Sunken Cave and the Catacombs, and somewhere in there, in one or two of those optional dungeons, it was like, I'll confess, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with this. This isn't fun anymore. I went into the settings and I cranked that boost up as hard as it would go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And
I think it makes it funner. I think it makes it more enjoyable. I don't know. Play your way. It actually
really does, because you're not constantly like really quick. So as a result, I've got my dudes are all at I got 48, 47, 46, and 46. That's their total level. I have maxed their job levels. And I like kind of get it now. Like, it sort of works. So the Dragoon and the Viking are like the heavy hitters. They can do physical attacks, but
just dropping shit everywhere here, man. I was taking the cover off my Steam Deck, and I dropped it because I was like, oh wait, your levels. Okay, damn, dude, you damn near caught me in levels. I'm only 51 across the board.
I know. I've been living large on.
Holy shit, dude! I was like, when you're like 48, I'm like, oh, dude, I think you might have passed me. I was like, no, you're really close though.
For the first time, Tom, you're like at my level. We're about the same level.
Cool, man. All right, so yeah. And I did that, I guess, fighting a quarter of as many people because I couldn't be bothered. But it was interesting because, like, eventually it like works out and it's okay. Like, you can just start, but so I'll tell you what's really interesting about this is that, like, it mostly works now. The Dragoon and the Viking can just like smash stuff, and then the Evoker summons things.
Yeah.
My Red Mage. So my eventual plan is that when we get the best jobs at the end, like I want my white and black mages, those characters, Mr. and Roboto, I want them to go back to being sages, because what I realized is that sages can, what can they do? They can use summon magic as well.
Oh, nice.
I believe so. Yeah.
I keep switching back to the Evoker in order to do my summons. So that's cool.
So I was loading up my Black Mage with all of the summon magic. And as a result, I've had nothing for the damn red mage to do. Half the time he just defends. Sometimes he attacks stuff, but his attack is not worth anything. Like it's like the Dragoon and the Viking are dropping like thousands and thousands of damage on people, and the red dude maybe like a couple hundred, maybe. And so he's pretty much useless. He doesn't have access to. He can't do any of the high level cure stuff, or if he can, he has like 3 magic points or whatever in that category. And so he just kind of hangs out, which is weird because now it's like I have this whole guy who's completely useless and I should probably change him to something else. But I got a cure, and I really don't want to be reliant on potions and stuff. And so he hangs around, and that's what he does. But what's frustrating about it is that, you know, the Dragoon. I got the. Did you guys find the Blood Lance?
Yep.
Dude, I don't know. Maybe.
That thing is awesome. So
really?
It does. I can't remember. All I know is that I did on Bahamut, or maybe it was Bahamut. It might have been like a Drake somewhere, but some dragony looking thing. I did like 4 9s damage, and I healed 5k off of that.
Shit.
Yeah. Wow. So don't sleep on the Blood Lance.
Okay.
I guess.
Good damn.
Well, I was using the blood sword on my knight, and it was healing him pretty decently too.
Yeah, I think it's my blood one that I've used is the sword.
But like, so that's cool. And the Viking is awesome because his command move is draw attacks. And so you run that, and then you get a pretty decent chance. It's better than half, I would say, but not, I don't know, not 3/4, something like that, where it attacks it affects every enemy, and if it hits successfully, their attack is directed at the Viking. And so he can just and he has some like stupid armor value on him, so that consistently stuff will do damage in the 1s and the 10s, and only the strongest stuff can do hundreds of damage to him in a turn. And so he just he has almost 3,000 hit points right now, which is kind of fun. And so he just sponges everything up, and so you can use him to kind of protect the evoker, who he's up okay now, but still, if he gets wailed on a little bit. Anyway, so it kind of works, right? It's a motley crew, but we figure it out, and I haven't lost the whole party in a long time, and every once in a while I got to drop a couple Phoenix Downs, but it's not a big deal. I will tell you what continues to screw me though is the damn back attack.
Oh, where they get you first?
Yeah.
No, where they attack you from behind, and your people that are in the back row now in the front row, and the people that are in your front row are in the back row.
That destroys me.
Yeah.
Because they just wipe out the evoker, who has all the magic, basically. He's done. The red mage, who maybe could kind of heal people, he's done. And the only 2 dudes who do physical attacks are now in the back, and their stuff takes a huge penalty for that.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
It's really, I don't know, it's kind of surprising because I figured eventually, once all the levels were beefed, then, it's sort of fine. And it mostly is. But that back attack, man, I've had to flee them because I'm no, I can't. This is untenable for me. I cannot win. It's just random thing I run into.
Why don't you just have them switch rows in the middle of the combat?
Oh, you can do
switch
that?
Position in the middle?
Yeah. Dude, yes. You realize that when you have the menu that pops up, there's 2 menus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the normal menu, and then the menu I only go to when I want to run away.
Flee?
Yeah, but on flee, it also says defend on row. And if you click row, they'll jump to the opposite row, the opposite row of what they're currently in. So if they're in the front, they'll jump to the back, and if they're in the back, they'll jump to the front.
Just costs you a turn.
Yeah, but
yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously, in the face of the alternative, that's preferable. So
it's either one turn or you
run away.
You run away and do nothing.
I've tried to run away, and sometimes it's no. It's like shit.
Well, that's the other thing is you're probably gonna run into some mobs that don't allow you to run away at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So 2 things are happening in this podcast that typically happen in every podcast, but haven't happened in a while. One is where we've learned something new. We say, hey, this thing's happening. And one other person says, what? No, do this. And we're like, oh, shit. The other thing is that Larry says a thing that clearly happened during the section we were playing, and he's explaining it to you all, and you guys are like, what are you talking about? And turns out that he's talking about the next section that he played that you didn't play yet because he played ahead. That fucking maze in the mountains I was talking about is in section 16, and I'm a moron.
I was like,
I wasn't ringing a bell, but I was like, maybe he went a different way.
I was like, okay, like the only thing I could think of is trying to get the Falgerbard, which is
Yeah, it was
a
kinda
couple
close.
little things.
Yeah.
My internal monologue, like, man, how bad is he at flying this airship?
Okay, so thank you, Tom, for saying that, because I was like, Jesus Christ, like it wasn't that bad, but it was kind of annoying. But okay, whatever.
Maze, dude. Okay, there's a map.
So
like,
it's the fucking Cave of Darkness dungeon, which is the very next thing you'll all do. That's what it was. And I was, God damn it. I did it. I said before the podcast I wouldn't do this, and I did it.
I vaguely remember someone saying they wouldn't do this.
Huh?
I remember someone saying they wouldn't do this.
They wouldn't do this yet? I wonder who that was. Yeah.
this section, I don't even fault you for it, man. This section was surprisingly short. Like so I'll paint the picture for you. Like I did all of this, I think last Monday I did this, and I got maybe through like part 13, like not very far at all. I had like changed all this stuff up. And it was like, man, this is really hard. These guys are even worse than before. Like, why did I do this? Turn the game off. And then last night, so Saturday was my birthday. Sunday was Mother's Day. So not surprisingly, I did not get a whole lot of game played on either of those 2 days. And so last night I picked this up at like 10:30, and it was like, hey, we gotta go. And so I cranked the boost on. And but yeah, when you're not grossly underleveled, this actually went pretty fast. Particularly when the guide tells you all the places to go.
Yeah, where to go.
I'm looking at this, and I'm not gonna like pine for it or whatever, but what this tells me is that there's actually was like a lot of really cool stuff to find if you were just like cruising around, you know?
It's why I like this section so much, is that the optional stuff that you find, I think is pretty cool. There's some really cool weapons. Like there's the summons, like it's Odin, Bahamut, and at least I think Leviathan was in this section.
Yeah, Leviathan was in Lake Dahor.
Okay, great.
Lake Dor.
Have you used Odin much?
I haven't, no.
So be careful with that guy, because so you've noticed. Have you guys noticed that the summons randomly will do either a helpful thing to you or a hurtful thing to the guys you're fighting, right?
I've only found that it doesn't trigger. Like sometimes it'll trigger and sometimes it wouldn't. I haven't noticed anything negative towards me yet, though.
Not negative towards you, positive towards you. Sometimes the dudes will heal you.
Oh.
Yeah. The fire guy, who I call Ifrit, but for some reason he's like Hetra or something like that. He can heal you. Ramura and the Ice Lady have status effects that can like paralyze the enemy guys, so they all have like an attack and then like a status thing, and some of them do positive things for your party. And the one that Odin does is cast. I don't quite know what it would be called. Maybe Reflect is the closest thing I can think of to it. And that thing sticks. And so you got to be careful. So if you don't sequence it right, Odin will show up and be like, oh, here, dude, enjoy this nice protective barrier. And then my dumbass red mage casts Kiraga, which bounces off of us onto the enemy and heals him for like $3,000. It's like,
oh my God, that's hilarious.
But because you don't get to pick, and so it just happens sometimes. So
yeah, I like that random effect of it. I don't know if there's anything you can do to influence it. Probably not, but it's cool how it's like there's several different things, and it's just like crapshoot, whatever comes out.
And I kind of like that, because otherwise I don't know. Maybe I don't actually like it, but it's sort of the variety is the spice of life kind of thing here, where it's like, oh, we'll see how this goes.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too.
And that's kind of fun.
But it took me a while to realize, because my white mage and my black mage are like, okay, cool, I got these summons now. I'll put it on my mages, and then I can't use it. I was like, why can't I use the summon? And I'm like, oh, I probably have to use one of the other classes. So I was like, okay, Evoker sounds right. It was.
it's really frustrating to have the evoker loaded up with all of this ass-kickingly good black magic that I cannot use.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if I need to to clear a room, like unlearn stuff, and then do I have access to that again, or if I do I have to go buy it again or whatever?
If you get
You'd
rid
have to
of
go buy it again. If you unlearn
That's
it,
what
it
I
goes
thought.
away.
Yeah.
But
That's
what if you
I thought.
unlearn a summon?
Goes away.
But like you'll never get it back because you got to go fight those dudes.
I think you can. I don't know about the ones that we had to fight to get. You might be able to check. I haven't checked the vending machine in the Invincible. They might be there to be purchased after you've defeated them.
That's a good point from the vending machine in the ship.
Yeah. And I would imagine that they probably have them somewhere to buy. Like that wouldn't. Well,
that would be pretty cruel if they like locked you out of all the best level stuff.
Like, hey, I'm gonna try this on some other thing, so I'm gonna unlearn this where I can use this magic. Oh shit, I want to go back. Guess what? You just lost those summons forever. Ha.
The Bahamut summon is pretty good too. He does a hefty damage. How was that fight for you guys?
So I'm pretty over leveled, and I got my ass kicked about 10 times in a row until I finally got it. And it was kind of fun mixing and matching and figuring out what I was doing wrong on that one. So I enjoyed that fight quite a bit because he does that spark thing or whatever that just fucking
flare.
The flare just devastated me.
I was like doing fine. I was like hanging in there, and then I had something like didn't go my way or whatever, and it's like, they're all dead except for who's that? The Dragoon coming flying in from the sky to do insane amounts of damage, and the Bahamut is dead. It's like, wow, that really worked out. They're like good at killing flying stuff, man, and other things, but they're really good at killing flying things.
I'm still rocking my knight, white mage, black belt, so I didn't have any issues with it.
It's kind of fun to like switch to the other ones to see. I assume I think the Dragoon, for example, is a staple of Final Fantasy, but this is the first time they've been in here in the game, so it's kind of fun to see like what they do and where they started, and the variety. It seems like it would add some replayability to just like what crazy like Tom's doing, what crazy party can I put together,
and it still kind of works because like I'm even doing this like you could probably do like triple Dragoons, you could do triple Vikings easily. Those guys are the Vikings in particular. I have yet to find something that like really. I mean, there's guys that do damage sort of thing, but I can't really see the downside. Their armor is just like insane. They're so strong. Again, they have such high defense, and the axes that you find for them. I have guys doing like. He's got like 260 damage or something like that on him right now, which seemed really, really high. I kind of expected it to top out at 100, and it just kept going. Yeah, what are my guys doing right now? What's our... How do you see that? Is it status?
Interesting, because my knight's only at 226.
220? No, sorry, yeah. Maybe that is the top, because that's what my Dragoon is at 226 right now.
And my black mage is at 244, or black belt is 244.
My Viking's up at 280. Oh man, and those other losers, 82, 95. Got nothing. Chumps. But anyway, it was so anyway. I sorry, I didn't mean to hijack the whole thing.
No, it's great. Well, you're talking about this game on the podcast where we talk about this game. How dare you?
Oh, no, not allowed.
I'll be better.
No content here, goddammit. We just say good or bad and we turn off the podcast.
So this has been a really fun experiment with the boost on. Without the boost on, this would have been mind-numbingly painful.
I agree. I think adjusting some of the quality of life stuff, either turning off the encounters every once in a while or boosting to get your new job levels up, has been really, it helped take the edge off what would have been a little rough.
I'm torn because I like the idea that you have to work to get the job classes like matured. That makes sense to me. But I wish that what I wish is that as you buffed like one job class, maybe like related job classes were like coming along with it, sort of thing. And so that maybe there's like a sharp penalty for taking your knight and turning him into a mage or something like that.
Yeah.
But going from a mage to an evoker, or from a white mage to a red mage, or so, you know what I mean? Like stuff that was kind of related. I wish that the penalty wasn't quite so high, so that you could catch up faster. Does that make sense?
I feel like that was what tactics did. So, because you had just like in this game, you had two things you leveled: your character level and your job level. And as you leveled up your squire, because that's what everyone started out as, I think it was squire. And then when you moved into knight, obviously it was like a natural progression. So even though you started over, like if you're like a level, or like your job class is like level 20 or whatever as a squire, then you jump over to level 1 knight, your strength skill was tied, your strength stat was tied to your character level, and then it got a bonus on top of that based upon what job you were. So just because you started over at level 1, your character level was like level 10, so you're still like a 10 by 1 as opposed to a 10 by 20 that you were before, or a 1 by 1 when you started out as the very first at the very beginning. So I feel like they figured that out more so in tactics. Now again, this is 30 years ago since I played this game, so I could be but I get what you're saying when you're sitting there doing something like you went from a knight to Viking. Like let's be real, dude. There's not a whole lot of difference, but at the same time, there's enough difference where I can understand where damage would drop off, because you're using an axe is very different than using a sword. But it wouldn't be like, you shouldn't be, your defense should still be there, because it's like, okay, you're wearing similar armor, so.
Yeah, and that's been another thing that's been, this is just like a gripe. I don't know that I actually would change the system, but I think I have this like acute fear of missing out. We picked up so much gear in this section, just like tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff. I've been able to use not very much of it, and I think it's because there's so many different classes, and I was surprised how little overlap there is between, like, when I originally laid this out, I wanted one of them to be the Dark Knight, because I was like, oh, I'll take my knight and make him a Dark Knight just to do something different. He can't use any of the weapons. Like, it's super late. We only just now is it Galbard or whatever, is where you get Dark Knight weapons, the ninja sword kind of things, and that was sort of disappointing, that it's like, oh, this class is untenable because he won't have weapons for like another, quarter of the game, sort of thing. Like, all right, I put him in a drawer, sort of thing. But I did play with him after we got there in that cave, and that went okay. So he has a cool attack called like Berserker Blades or something like that, or no, Blade Blitz is what it's called.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where it swings and hits all of them.
And
like
it hits everybody. And it's like, oh, that's
tornado thing.
That's a pretty sick thing, that you get area of attack with or multiple enemy hits with a physical attack. I thought that was sort of neat, so I had him switched over. Now I got a plot. I need to look at the page because I think in the next section we hit the Earth Crystal is section 16 after the Cave of Darkness. So I want to plan out my end game jobs, because there's some cool stuff coming up, I think.
I don't know anything about section 16, and how dare you bring it up?
You wouldn't.
How dare you? I don't know. I think this is all the Final Fantasy we've played so far, 1, 2, and 3, have had something that just kind of lays the foundation for what's ahead, and is kind of I don't know, this one with the different jobs. I know people have talked about the jobs being the big thing from Final Fantasy 3, but once you get into it, you're like, there really is a lot of interchangeability and variance here for a fucking NES game. It's kind of impressive.
Trying to think if anything else really stood out. I thought all of the summon battles were pretty cool and pretty good. I loved them.
They were really fun.
They were fun, not impossibly hard if you're cheating like I was. But also, even then, for having like full boost on, there was still some thought. You had to work it a little bit. They didn't just roll over. Unlike, did you guys fight the dude behind the waterfall?
Yes.
That was kind of
a joke.
Yeah, what's up with that?
The ninja, he was a joke.
It's like, I must give you this sword now because you've proven yourself. Like, I just fucking kicked the shit out of you in one turn.
No,
Half a turn.
maybe if you could clone yourself like those other dudes, this would be hard.
Yep.
The only
Which actually would
one,
have been kind of neat because that's the kind of weapon that stops that from happening. Is the dark blades.
the only one that was somewhat of a challenge for me was Odin, and it wasn't even like a challenge. It just took.
He had so much hit points.
It took me like 10 rounds. At no point in time was I afraid of dying. It was just like, holy crap, fool's just absorbing the hits.
Yep.
Like even Bahamut was down in like 3 or 4 rounds because Eraga just decimated his hit points.
Right.
Which one? What's Iraga?
The white mage's arrow got like the highest, the super.
I taught it to my evoker, even though I can't use it because I wanted it for later and didn't want to miss it. And I see it in the menu all the time, and I'm like, oh, it'd be so good to use against flying.
That one for me when I got to Bahamut did freaking over 6k damage in one shot.
Yeah.
So it tore him a new one.
Odin had 31,000 hit points.
No wonder that took forever. Jeez. Yeah. Bullet sponge.
Hey, it was kind of nice for me because everything else I've been kind of steamrolling. It's probably because I haven't changed my job classes in a really long time. I mean, I'm still rolling around with a white mage and a black mage, so they're capped. And then the black belt and the black belt just it's nuts how much damage that fool does.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta ask because this is something that no one has brought up, and I'm like, how has this not been brought up? The Moogles, like finally, Moogles have been introduced into Final Fantasy. Like this is a huge thing, and no one's even mentioned it.
Where was he?
Where the fuck was the Moogle?
When you went in to go see into Doga's mansion.
Oh my God, you're right.
They were the ones that told you to halt the second you rolled in. Like
right.
I was literally I walked in like halt. I'm like, oh, what's this? And then I see them walking through. I'm like, Moogles! I was so stoked because I was like, I didn't remember when they were shown, but I was looking it up and like this is literally the first time they show up is
for
in
like
Final
10
Fantasy
seconds.
3.
They're like, stop. They're like, no, never mind.
I don't care. I was just stoked that they even existed.
Oh, I fucking forgot about that because it was such a short amount of time.
But then that leads to my very biggest complaint that I still have about this is just, hey, you meet this random dude. Yep, I'm going to trust you. Join me. You're telling me the truth. This is what's really going on. I need to go do this shit. Like, come on. At some point in time, I don't know if it's just a trope or something. Like at some point in time, someone's got to stab us in the back. Like, not in this game, but just in general.
You know, it's going to happen in Final Fantasy IV, apparently, based on all the Magic the Gathering leaks.
Is like kind of finally. I feel like the story is sort of finally started, right? And
we actually have a bad guy.
Yeah, is it the guy with the X?
Zanda.
Yeah, Zandy.
Yep.
And then, because what did they say? There's Zandy, and then they were
Doga,
like all made friends. And who was it? Like
there's a fourth one too.
Well, Noah was the original like progenitor of these, and these were like his disciples. And when he passed his power on, like one of them broke bad, and then the other two, one of them fell asleep, I guess, and then
Ume was in charge of the dreams.
That's right.
Doga inherited Noah's power, and then Xanda inherited humanity.
Okay. So then, mortality, right?
Mortality, that's what it was. And Xanda was like, "What the?
I know.
You. I got shafted."
Yep.
Hey, man, that's like the what is it? Iluvatar?
Okay, here's the other thing. Allegedly, this is what went down. Allegedly. But again, we just trust whatever this dude who we randomly met for the very first time tells us and do exactly what he says.
We're very gullible. It'd be so funny to have like a offshoot of this game, even of Final Fantasy, where that shit happens. It's like a 2-hour game where you follow it, and that person at the end just fucking murders you, and it's over. Game over screen.
I think if you do it right, you'd probably make a decent indie game with that. But
that would be awesome, man. A 2-hour experience where you're like, I don't know, subverting that particular trope.
But at least like there's some story now, right? Like there's kind of some structure to
how long?
common now. It's a hell of a lot more than we had before this, and so I was grateful for the direction, even if it wasn't particularly artful in its exposition.
I have a question for you, and maybe I've missed this somewhere. How do people know we're the Warriors of Light when they see us? Like, they just look at it and be like, "Oh, you're the Warriors of Light."
That's a good point. Yeah.
I'm like,
You all.
do we glow or some shit? Like, what is going on that allows people to just be like, "Oh, you're the Warriors of Light. Sweet. Hey, let's help you out."
They can't come up with any more compelling reason why 4 people would be traveling together dressed in such dumb outfits. So,
Yep. You're a bunch of fucking nerds. You must be those Warriors of Light.
right?
I mean, circuses existed for a long time. I'm just saying.
There's
wanted posters with your pictures on it.
Court jesters. I mean,
I still go back and check in on the fellows every now and then.
I don't know. I know these are little nitpicky things with me. Is like the fact that our party just trusts whoever they talk to is telling them the truth. That people just know who we are with the second we walk into town, even though there is literally nothing. On top of the fact that this entire world didn't exist like 2 days ago, or however long it was.
Right, because underwater.
Yeah, and they were all turned to stone.
But wasn't the flooding like a temporary thing from the?
It was, yeah.
But we don't know how long ago that happened.
Exactly, could have been.
I thought it coincided with the earthquakes. That right there was some event that said all that. Right, wasn't it an earthquake that opened up the cave where we went at the very beginning of the game? No, I might be making that up, but
I don't remember this.
I thought that there was like some things are moving in the world, stuff is happening, and it's all connected to that. I might be conflating it with the nasty stuff that happened in 2, though.
I don't remember, but I just still, even if that was the case, even if it just happened 2 days ago, right, or 3 days ago, however long time is, I want to know what. Do we just have a glowing halo around our head or something? Just something. Just tell me like, hey, you walk around and you just glow, so everyone knows you're the Warriors of Light. Because guess what? Darkness runs away from you.
I think it's a smell. I think it's a smell. I think the Black Knight smokes weed. And they're like, oh god, it's you guys again. Great.
I mean, at this point in time, if he's summoning shit, he probably is smoking something.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Like, look at that. I got Odin and Leviathan, man. Like, what are you talking about, man?
Everyone else is probably looking like, what the hell is this dude smoking?
Yep, exactly. You are high as fuck. Man. There's nothing there.
You received key item peyote.
Yes, exactly. There you go. Question. The Dark Knights, in the guide, it says Dark Knights help prevent enemies from splitting.
Yeah.
How? I tried. I don't know if I did it wrong.
The Dark Knight. So I've been splitting a bunch of dudes, not having a Dark Knight. Basically a physical attack that doesn't kill these special enemies that can divide and multiply, I think are the names of the moves, then they get like basically a free turn to make a clone of themselves. So either you hit them with a regular attack that just kills them outright, or it's the Dark Knight, whatever their special class of weapons are, the Dark Blades, those don't trigger this.
Oh, I must have equipped the Dark Knights with a different blade then.
And though, which is what's confusing about this, because I had a Dark Knight.
It might be their skill.
I'd use their skill, and then after I used their skill, they multiplied. I was like, well, I'm doing this wrong somehow.
Did you also did they multiply immediately after you used the skill, or did they multiply after someone else took a turn?
Well, I guess I would want to say after my guy did it, but no, probably not after all the turns.
And that's probably
that's the thing, right?
Why. Yeah.
Because my knight and my black belt can take them out in one shot, and I hate to admit this. This took me more battles of this shit happening before I realized what the hell was going on and why they were dividing. I was just like, why the F are these? What is triggering this? And I was getting pissed off. And then finally I paid attention to it. And I watched. I was like, my black belt attacks, dead. Knight attacks, dead.
But your mage
attacks, divides. White mage attacks, divides. Oh shit, I gotta take him out in one shot. So my assumption is what's happening, and you might want to go back and check that area and double check, is attack with the Dark Knight and see if he doesn't outright kill them if they divide.
Yeah.
If they don't divide, then that means it's doing exactly what it is, because they divide immediately after the attack.
Okay. That answers that question. Other question. Fat Chocobo? Question mark. I finally found that motherfucker.
Oh yeah, well, he's on
You
your
found
ship.
him in the wild, or you found him in the Invincible?
I found him in the Invincible. Oh no, both.
Okay.
There was a place where there was like a candlestick. It was like an inn. It was not the Invincible though.
Yeah.
And then it says
Summon
this is like
random.
Chocobo. I was like, I'm gonna use my Yassel Greens or whatever they're called.
Yeah, that's the first time you summoned him.
Yeah, I was like, oh, cool, it's a store. Oh, wait, no, it's not a store. Okay, store means like store my shit. Got it.
Yeah, when you were like, it's a store. I'm like, I don't remember that. I remember I could put shit in there if he wanted to hold it. And we had this whole conversation about he could do that last time.
I don't remember that at all.
I was like, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I missed the fact that he could buy shit from him too. And then I went back to you like, no, man, you can't buy shit.
I was like,
from
secret store. This is amazing. No, I'm an idiot. Okay, great.
It's literally just. I was like,
But it's interesting, right, that he's here at all, because we talked about this. They removed the reason for his existence, which is that you don't have a limit on what you can carry now.
Exactly.
Right.
That's
But then
right.
they went to the trouble to animate him, and right, he's got pixel art with everything else. He still works the same way. There's part of me that wishes that they would have just left that. Like, I kind of would have been happy to do the inventory shuffle. Nah, that's a lie.
No, you wouldn't.
No,
you wouldn't.
absolutely not.
I hated that shit in Final Fantasy 1, man. I hated that shit.
He's such a cool little sprite, and he's peppered
a cool
throughout the
sprite.
world.
Yep.
Maybe that's what they should have done, was make him like a special shop that you could buy. I don't know, hard to find stuff from, right? Like maybe he sells elixirs. I haven't been able to buy an elixir anywhere else. But
my assumption is it was cheaper and easier for them just to leave him as is.
In the code.
Put anything in the code.
What?
But also, you underestimate the fervor of freaking Final Fantasy nerds, man.
That's it, man.
If they
Hell no, you
removed
can't take
him,
out a Chocobo. Fuck no.
Oh my god. All hell would have broken loose if you taken the fat Chocobo out, man.
I mean, that thing's a fucking summon in 7 remake, man.
Take him out, but I would have given him give him something. And I hear what you're saying about them not wanting to like spend the effort to like make him do something new. They tweaked all kinds of stuff in this game, though. I mean, like areas that were single access now aren't, and so you can get back to them. We've known this before. They've completely gone in and tinkered with all of the mathematics that underlie some of these how the attacks work and things like that. They moved classes around where you get some of the jobs you get earlier or later. I mean, they did plenty of editing in this. Justice for Fat Chocobo, man.
But those are core game mechanics that they're updating, whereas they literally removed the whole game mechanic around him. So at that point in time,
I will not hear this Fat Chocobo erasure. To say that he is not a core mechanic, I think is blasphemy.
Well, not anymore. He's not, because we have unlimited freaking inventory space.
He's a cool dude, though. I sometimes call him up just to look at him.
No, so do I. I do it too. I'm like, I just want to see his fat ass just.
It's a great sprite, and we have a great episode title, "Justice for Fat Chocobo." So we're all good. Oh my god. Well, we did it. We thought this would be a short podcast, but it's not.
Yeah, we talked a lot longer than I expected. Holy shit.
That's awesome. Anything you are hoping for the past 3 sections? Last 3 sections.
I was like, past?
Not past. I can't fucking talk.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I do podcasts, because I can't talk.
I'm hyped about the final flight of jobs, because I've been like looking at the menu the whole time and be like, oh, if only I was there. Oh, that's like the best thing at the end. So that's what I'm most looking forward to, is my final build for the home stretch.
Awesome.
I'm just looking forward to changing my classes finally.
I'm looking forward to a final boss that turns the tides on Travis's negative energy from episode 1 or 2. It will be the most impactful, amazing final boss.
My negative energy
you've ever. Well, you don't remember? Remember like an episode or 2 ago when you're like, I hope the final boss isn't blah blah blah, and I was like, well, hold on to your hat, man.
Well, I have a bad right now, Xanda or whatever, however you pronounce that. But
yeah.
Watch him turn into just.
I'm looking forward to the next episode. You're gonna be like, this is the best Final Fantasy boss I've ever seen in my life.
I seriously doubt that. You're talking to the person that beat the original Final Fantasy VII, the first in our group, and I didn't even know the damn game.
It's so amazing to me that that's true, because in my memory, it is you playing that game that you bought. Like you own
I
that.
didn't buy that game. Anthony bought that game. I bought it years later, man. I was in college when I bought that game.
That's crazy. I associate with you so much.
Final Fantasy VII either. I played a friend's copy, and
What
then
the fuck, you two?
I didn't have PlayStation when it came out, and so I was playing it on PS2 like 7 or 8 years after the fact, and it was like the greatest hits copy with the green stripe. So it was very
yeah,
my copy of Final Fantasy VII is the greatest hits copy, but I went and bought a PlayStation specifically so I could borrow that game from Anthony so I could play it, because I watched him play it. But I ended up beating it at his house, his copy of his game at his house on my save file before he ever got to that point in the game.
You're like, I'm gonna make you watch me. You sit here.
He
wanted.
We were hanging out at his place, and he was like, "Dude, do you have your
watch me beat your game in your house?"
No, fuck, God, you guys are asses. Literally, I was hanging out with him. He's like, "Did you bring your save file?" And I was like, "Or your memory card?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got it. Why?" Because we're playing Bushido Blade, which again, that was my game. So I needed my memory card for it. And he's like, "Wait, is your Final Fantasy VII save on there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm almost like to the end." He's like, "Dude, let's play it on your save." And I was like, "Okay." And so yeah, I beat it on his. But
I'm gonna raise the rating of this podcast with this joke, and I apologize to everybody. What's the analog for this situation where we all know what a cuck is, but here you're making your friend watch you beat his game in front of it?
I didn't make him do it. He chose to.
Oh, he's into that sort of thing, is what you're saying.
Yo, dude, you get to go talk to Anthony about this one, not me, man.
I'm going to. Oh man, that's so funny though. I think of it as your game. That's crazy.
No, it was Tactics was his game too.
Guys, we gotta shut it down. This is taking a turn.
Both of my copies of Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy Tactics are the ones with the green stripes on them.
Same as Thomas was mentioned.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, next episode 4, we're going to be finishing the game in front of you all. So please come back to watch.
No worries. Watch. We're not recording this shit with video.
A live stream now.
We can start. Do you want to start doing that? Okay.
No, I don't want that.
Oh man.
I think that'd be hilarious if we did that.
Oh, for the ending? Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know how to stream my fucking Switch. You're playing on PC, but yes. Anyways, good transition to if you like our podcast, please rate it on your podcast service of choice, and we'll be back next week for the final episode of the Final Fantasy III arc. Thanks for listening.
Peace.